talking about Zion Williamson. So the sophomore sensation played his first game in Madison Square Garden as a pro yesterday. His Pelicans lost to the Knicks, but the experience wasn't lost on Zion. After the game, he was asked about playing in the Mecca of basketball for the first time in the NBA. Take a listen.
I'm glad you asked that, actually. I mean, New York is the Mecca of basketball. I love playing. I love playing here. When I played here in college, and this is my first time playing here in the pros. And I mean, this atmosphere, you know, whether they're cheering for you, whether they're booing for you, it's amazing. Honestly, I think outside of New Orleans, obviously, I think this might be my favorite place to play outside of New Orleans. I can't even lie to you. I can't lie to you.
I love this kid. He's so charming.
Yeah.
We got Chris Broussard joining us now. Broussard, good morning. Are Zion's comments a big deal or no big deal?
Well, look, let me state the obvious. He did look positively giddy to be playing in Madison Square Garden. So I can see how desperate Knicks fans are so excited, all right? But let me save Knicks fans some heartache. This is what superstars do. They wink at the Knicks. They flirt with the Knicks. They whisper sweet nothing in the Knicks' ears. And it never comes to mean anything. All right. Zion is like the 173rd superstar to call the Garden the Mecca after a game. Let me show you a little history.
Right.
2008, LeBron James goes into the Garden with Cleveland, scores 26 points, leaves the Cavs to an easy victory. Afterwards, he's asked about free agency. He says this: July 1st of 2010 is probably going to be one of the biggest days in free agent history in the NBA. All right, New York goes crazy. I was in the press conference. They're going nuts. Oh, he's coming, he's coming. A year later, he drops a 52-point triple-double in the Garden. And afterward, and throughout the whole night, before the game, after the game, during the game, he's calling it the Mecca. He's raving about the fans and the atmosphere, the knowledge of the game that they have in New York. I mean, it was crazy, laid it on thick. Of course, it led to nothing. 2 years ago, more than half the NBA thought Kevin Durant was a lock to go to New York. Of course, nothing comes of it. So here's the thing, Knicks fans. Zion won't be a free agent until 2023. Next summer, 2022, the Pelicans will offer him a max contract extension. If he doesn't sign it, he'll be like the first superstar or star even in recent memory to not sign, the first star ever to not sign with a rookie deal extension with the team that drafted him. Now, if he doesn't sign that for whatever reason, I can't imagine he won't, but if he doesn't, then Knicks fans can get a little bit of hope. But remember, 3/4 of the NBA will be going after Zion if he doesn't sign that extension. And a lot of them will have more to offer in a trade. And a lot of them are in a better situation than the Knicks. So slow your roll. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So listen, folks, at least when the other guys were flirting with the Knicks, you could see it on the time horizon, even if it was a couple years out. If this were to become a reality, the earliest it could happen is 2026. Because Broussard's right. Listen, if Zion would be the first player ever to turn down the rookie max extension. But even if he does that, he still has to play another year after his rookie contract on the qualifying offer of $17 million. So that's 2024. You know what this reminds me of, Wilds? My youngest daughter, I think the school gave this to her to taunt the parents. Walks around the house in a T-shirt she got from the school. It says class of 2031. I'm like, sweet Christ, that's a long time, man. That is a long time raising these damn kids. That's what the Knicks fans should print up. Zion 2026. 2026 is the earliest this could happen. And what that would mean is he signs the max extension and then forces his way out with a year left on the deal. That's the way, and then they have to trade him to him. You're saying, no, it's not, Wilds. Tell me how it's not. Tell me a faster
I'll just
way
ask
for
you
him
real
to
quick.
get there.
Okay, you go to the doctor, Nick. You go to the doctor, and I don't want this to happen. You know, knock on wood. The doctor says, "Oh boy, Nick, those double nicotine patches. You shouldn't really be using those. Those aren't medicinal, my friend. You shouldn't be wearing those for years. Unfortunately, buddy, you've got 5 years to live. Would you be stressed out, or would you be like, oh, that's so far away? Who cares? You'd be stressed out. You'd walk out super bummed out and sad. Well, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
Except the exact opposite. Let's go. Broussard, you know what's going on here. He loves New York. There was only 1,900 people in Madison Square Garden, and he ate it up. Who else is over there? Hello? Oh, Leon Rose used to run CAA, and I'm with CAA. And who else is there? Oh, my buddy RJ Barrett from Duke. Oh, boy, Brandon, I know you got a lot of Nets jerseys, and I'm going to get a Zion jersey. I'll show up with you, buddy. Size small, put it on backwards, just like you. Zion to the Knicks, 2026.
I want to see it. I'm sorry. I know what you guys said makes a lot of sense, but Dolan has to do something. He got to go get Carmelo Anthony and give him a stake, or Amari Stoudemire, so we can change the narrative of the Knicks. But I would love to see this. The NBA would love to see this. Think about this, Chris. Do you really want your next superstar, the next face of the NBA, tucked away in New Orleans in a small market? Think about that. And even if you're Zion Williamson. Do you want to stay tucked away in New Orleans all your career? I like it. They need to figure this out. I think everybody wants to see it.
There you go.
Look, it would be great if it happened, but that wasn't the question. I mean, yeah, we'd all love to see Zion or some other superstar in New York. Okay. But no, Nick hit it on the head. It's too far away. In the immortal words of Kevin Durant, it's too soon, bro.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to be...
He looks so giddy.
I'm going to be unpopular here. He did look giddy. But, you know, people mature and get older and change their opinions over 5-6 years. I'm going to be unpopular here.
5-6 years.
Why the hell, aside from the fact that I happen to live here, would I care if Zion plays for the Knicks? Every game is on television. It's not like, oh, man. It's not like when you were growing up and it's like, oh, the only baseball team I can watch is my hometown team and the Cubs, because oddly enough, we have WGN. Anyone can watch the Pelicans any night they want. Oh, you know why you should go to the Knicks Wilds? I see your quizzical look. It's like, oh, like LeBron going to the Lakers. You want to see the great players with the great organizations. The Knicks have not won a title in 48 years. They have been to 2 NBA finals in 48 years. Okay, but I understand that the Knicks... Okay, it hasn't been different for any superstar of my lifetime.
I'm
talking
about you saying you can watch the games on television. Every game's live. Here's the deal. That logo is different than a Pelican logo. Some teams, they just come with a different bang, and that's the New York Knicks. We keep talking about them every single year, and like you said, for 40 years, they haven't gotten it done. But what is it? They're a marquee franchise. That's why it's a big deal. You can't ignore that this is the biggest media market in the world. So it's time for the NBA to figure this out. Dolan has to go get somebody to change the narrative there so they can draw more superstars there. They have to figure it out.
Dolan sells the team.
Worldwide West, buddy.
I'll support it, Jenna.
Are you suggesting the league
that's not going to happen
and get him there?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's suggesting. The league step in.
Adam Silver, get it done.
All right. 34 points for Zion in the loss. We'll check back in on Zion on the Knicks in a couple years. 2026 specifically. We're 10 days away until Trevor Lawrence is officially a Jaguar. So why is he firing back at his critics already? We'll tell you next.